What is going on, everyone? This is Tom with another Toy Ramble, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Cobra Hydra Viper from the G.I. Joe Classified series. This is a fairly recent release. You can probably find him possibly on your Target or Walmart shelves. I got mine from Hasbro Pulse. They recently came in stock, and he is right in that lane of G.I. Joe that I enjoy. He is weird, he is strange. I vaguely remember these from their first appearance, back in the 80s, and I remember thinking, oh, we're doing Creature of the Black Lagoon now? Because sure, why not? Some really great artwork on the box there. I really like, again, just a strange weirdness of characters like this. And it makes sense that this is more of the craziness in the lane of what Cobra would be doing. I can see Cobra Commander saying that he really liked Creature from the Black Lagoon, so why don't we just do that? Because I think the official origin for these is that these are Cobra eels that were bioengineered, or they were genetically altered in some way, shape, or form to make them more used to being underwater and surviving in like the deep trenches and all that fun stuff. So they are not quite human anymore, as you can tell from those crazy eyes that they have. Personally, I think that the mask just should be the head because you've already mutated these people, so why not? So let's not waste any more time. Let's get this guy out of his plastic prison. And here we go. The Hydra Viper is free and ready to wreak havoc on the seven seas or wherever shipwreck happens to be hanging out. So this guy, right off the bat, is kind of fascinating. Only because, again, say it with me now, I know nothing of the lore. So I don't know if there's anything deeper to this character, or if there are individual characters, or if these are just meant to be a swarm of different just a swarm with the same type of genetically altered characters. So I am not sure if this guy has a name besides Hydro Viper, but he does look very cool. I like the detailing on the mask here. The eyes came out really nice. Like they're not quite, you can tell they're not quite human anymore. So that makes sense that this would be some sort of genetic engineering gone horribly wrong. Or maybe in the case of Cobra, it went incredibly right, because now they can exist underwater for long periods of time. I don't know if they have to breathe at all anymore, or if they can just exist underwater. I don't see any markings for gills. Maybe they do have to come up for air every now and then. But the scale detailing on the vest here, this is really nice. All the extra tubing and whatnot. It's very very late 80s kind of sci-fi with the tubes and the way that this stuff kind of works out. We've got, again, some more kind of 80s tech on the forearm armor here, of course, with you've got your wings there. It kind of looks like he's wearing slippers, but he will be wearing the flippers eventually anyway, so I guess it makes sense to kind of change the look of that coloration. And I actually kind of like that there are different shades of purple being used on him. It breaks it up a little bit, doesn't look too one note. What is interesting is that he does not come with extra hands, but he does have one open palmed hand and one kind of trigger hand. So I'm not quite sure why he doesn't come with extra hands. If anything, you would think this would be the character, or if you're going to have this kind of open palmed expression. Oh, very nice detailing on the weird creepy kind of sucker thing there, like he's an octopus maybe, or maybe he's a Morbius from the animated Spider-Man. Kind of weird there. But you would think that if you're going to have a figure that has these two different style hands, that you would just mirror them and make those an option. I don't need 15 hands. You can get carried away with that kind of thing. I'm not a big fan of too many hand options, because I think that it inflates the price and sometimes it's just unnecessary. But for this, it seems kind of weird that this is all you get. This hand will forever be open. You'll never have a closed hand. Left hand will forever be in the strike pose, possibly ready to deliver a karate chop. But I do like the look of this. The overall design is really good. It's very, harkening back to the 80s or maybe early 90s when he originally came out, and looks pretty darn good. The Cobra Hydra Viper stands at about almost 6 inches or so, which makes sense for it being part of the classified line. And let's start taking a look at his accessories. You actually do get a pretty decent amount of accessories with the Hydro Viper. So we'll start off with he's got a little jagged knife here. He also has a little harpoon gun, and these can be stored in his holster. It is nice. I like when you can actually store a majority of the accessories, if not all the accessories, on the body of the figure. So that way, if you've got them displayed, and you want to kind of mess around with the display, you don't have to worry too much about going into the bin and trying to find whatever weapon he's got and looking through baggies and all that fun stuff. He also comes with a tank full of, I'm presuming, oxygen. So maybe they can't stay underwater indefinitely, because I believe this is an oxygen tank, and that fits right on there. You have his slippers for better swimming while underwater, going after torpedo, I imagine. I know there are other kind of ocean-based, water-based Joes, but I'm unfortunately not very familiar with them. So Torpedo is the only one that I recall offhand. Him, the Cobra Eels, and of course the Hydra Vipers. That's pretty neat. I do like that. Good to do the job that he needs to do. And of course you have the cool Hydro Viper mask. Very neat. Very underwater demon. Not quite creature from the Black Lagoon, but it's got the throwback to the original design. It's got the cool kind of mohawk here. I like the different shades of red that he's got going on. And of course the black eyes. But it's unsettling, and that is the point of it. And I like that it is a full-on extra head instead of it being a mask that kind of clips on. So that looks very good, very disturbing, and welcome to your permanent place on this body, because I will never be taking this head off. I also like that these, I thought these plugged in somewhere on the chest, but they do not. They're just kind of free floating, which is again also very disturbing, because it's almost like that the catfish whiskers. I wonder if these are supposed to be little stingers at the end. You can put a little like electrical special effect on there. But yeah, this is neat. I like this. I like this a lot. He also comes with a little manta ray. Aw. He's not bothering anybody. Oh wait, no, he's evil. Oh, he's got the glowing red eyes, so he's definitely, look at that angry face. He is very upset with you. So he is not a cute, innocent manta ray. He is very evil. Very upset. I like this a lot. I like that he comes with a little manta ray. He does not plug on anywhere, unfortunately, and that would have been a cool thing if you just had an extra, maybe like a peg or something on the oxygen tank that the manta ray could latch onto. You wouldn't have to be powering the Hydro Viper, but it would be kind of cool if this is his little companion critter that he had some place to kind of lock on, so he was around him all the time. Because as is, he just hangs out on the ground, and that's no fun. But it is very cool you get a manta ray. It would be kind of cool if you did get a giant manta ray that completely could like take over the whole back area and then latch onto him. But no such luck. Maybe next time. Maybe for a different release. Speaking of other releases, it would be really cool now that we've got him with this face on here. I know I'm so sorry for fantasy booking during this review, but holy cow! If you wanted to keep that Diretech line going, because we've already gotten the Diretech Viper, and then we've gotten the Diretech Night Creeper. Here's your next one. This is the guy to do it to. You take this mold, you make him black, yellow, and green. You change the head to a glow-in-the-dark, like replace all the red with glow-in-the-dark pieces. And I am there. That would be awesome. To me, anyway, I think that would be awesome. Now, let's get into the Hydro Viper's articulation. So we'll start with the head, which is sitting on a ball joint, so you've got some really good up and down there. Some back and forth because the neck is on a double ball joint, so you get some good motion back and forth, as well as some up and down, side to side. The whiskers are not articulated. They are thin, so they are wobbly, but they're not wired, so they can't hold any particular shape. They're just kind of there. Now he does have a butterfly joint, as well as a hinge for the shoulder, bicep swivel, and a double elbow joint that it can hit on this little piece here, but if you slide that up on the bicep, it does a pretty good job of getting the full range of motion there. So the wrist armor is separate. You have a hinge on the wrist here. He does have an ab crunch. You can't see it because of the vest here, so that overlays the entire thing, so you're not going to get too much. Most of the articulation you're going to get, most of the motion you're going to get is going to come from the waist, because there is a cut here at the waist for him to move around. He does have drop down hips, as well as a ball socket joint for the upper thigh there. There is a thigh cut as well, full rotation on that. Double knees, so you can really kind of get that up there. When I first opened him up and started kind of breaking the joints in, I did wince a little bit at the double knees. I don't think this is any more brittle plastic than normal, but for whatever reason, these were kind of locked into place on mine. So just be aware. It might not be your version, might just be mine, but be careful. He does have a cut at the lower leg here, hinge for the ankle, as well as a rocker joint. All right, let's do a few comparisons with the Hydro Viper. Now you tell me why G.I.Joe has never crossed over with He-Man. I don't know. I don't get it. I feel like the weirdness of both worlds just invites some crossover craziness. Because why wouldn't Leech hang out with a Hydro Viper? And of course, this is what I was talking about. If we're doing some more dire tech stuff, if this line's going to keep on going, I feel like it just kind of writes itself. And of course, you've got your little Manta Ray buddy to go along with your dire tech wolf buddy. Get on it, Hasbro. I think this would be a lot of fun. And speaking of crossovers, I also don't know why G.I.Joe has never crossed over with Thundercats. Because also, why not? You've got two wacky worlds. One is kind of animalistic. One is kind of animalistic. One is based on animals. One is using animals. One also kind of has lots of animals. Why not? So, at the end of the day, should you pick up the G.I. Joe classified Hydro Viper? I'm going to say yes. I enjoy this character. I think he's fun. He hits all those weird kind of crazy bits that I enjoy collecting in this line. It might not be for everybody. This might not be for you. If you are content with just having the Cobra Eels, then that might do it for you. If you like kind of that next step, this was... I don't know. I don't remember offhand if this came out towards the end of the original line, but they were kind of advancing the concepts and seeing how out there they could get with them. So this, of course, caught my eye, and seeing it redone in the classified line, yeah, I had to pick him up. I think that you'll enjoy him. I think that he'd fit in really well with your display, especially if you got 2 or 3 of these kind of hanging out and you have him fighting with Torpedo. I think it would be really cool. The only kind of downside would probably be the price. Things are getting more expensive now. Figures are getting more expensive. So if you don't have the disposable income and it's just kind of not worth your while, then, you know, I think your collection would be perfectly fine without this particular figure. But in my case, it's kind of worth it for me to pick up a few of these and fill out some ranks and have some creepy, weird Cobra stuff going on. So let me know if you own the Cobra Hydro Viper, and if you enjoy him, or if you think he works out in your collection, or maybe you don't like him. I'm very curious to know what your opinion on him is, so let me know in the comments down below. So I hope that you have enjoyed this review. If you have, please leave the video a like, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, tell your buddies, hit that notification bell so you are notified of any future videos when they release. And until next time, take care everybody.